Rich. I am your video store clerk, beaming straight into your phone, your TV, straight from my video vault in Casadilla basement. And yes, today is another review. I hope you enjoy this review, and instead of me just chatting on and waffling on about it, let's get you straight to the review. Today's review is The Beyond, the second chapter of Lucio Fulcis' Gates of Hell Trilogy. This is Shameless Entertainment's new Blu-ray, and I used to own the DVD brought to us by Arrow Videodrome, and it was their kind of old exploitation kind of thing, and they actually had the whole Gates of Hell trilogy, which is how I saw most of them. Actually, how I saw the original Gates of Hell trilogy. But this is a new beautiful transfer, and it's all put together in a nice little package, which we are going to now go into. The movie gets 4 out of 5, and very much in Italian fashion. The film is very dreamlike. It's beautifully, visually it's stunning, but narratively it lets it down for me, which is unfortunately why it isn't a proper full-on 5 out of 5. And it's probably one of Fulci's best films as well. I absolutely adore the film, but at times it kind of does meander, and it does go on tangents, and you know, it doesn't quite resolve every plot point and everything, which is, for me, I'm very much that kind of film watcher. You know, I very much enjoy like driving narratives, drama, and I don't quite feel this with that feel this with the film at times. But it's still a really good film, and if you haven't seen it, it's a pinnacle of Italian horror. I really would say that. So the video gets 5 out of 5. This transfer is superb. What they do is they balance it very much between the old school film grain and cleaning it enough where it doesn't look too pristine as well. It strikes that balance, but through watching it, you can see all the production problems, aka you can see I wouldn't say production problems, you can see the edges of the production, sorry, where you can see like the rings of the contact lenses, obviously where they're sitting perfectly on people's pupils. You can see like the makeup and how it's only painted so far, and then you can see people's necks are bare, and it's incredibly, you know, it's incredible. Like, you can see that kind of detail now in the film. So that gets a 5. Audio gets a 5. We get the original Italian soundtrack, newly subtitled. We get the English dub track, and then we also get 2 commentaries. So the commentary is by the cinematographer, which is a great informative track, but it is in Italian and it's subtitled. And then, but the commentary with David Warbeck and Catriona McCall is without a doubt one of the best commentaries I've ever heard, because it's just David Warbeck on a rampage, probably endlessly, tirelessly talking about the film, and he really just imbues it with a sense of fun. He's like, right, this could be the last time I ever talk about the film, let's do it. And Catriona kind of is dragged along for the ride, and it's so much fun. I had a blast listening to that one. The extras are a 4 out of 5. A lot of them are interviews. We do get the opening prologue in kind of 4 different manners. I've only seen it in the sepia, because that's kind of the original theatrical version. I don't really, even though there are other options available, it wasn't for me. But that you have the option if you do want them. And I enjoyed a lot of the interviews, but they are also in Italian, and I found that I would have wanted something with like a Catriona, or just someone like a film historian, like a Stephen Thrower, where they can come in and obviously kind of, as this is considered like one of the best of Fulci, like give this film a bit more praise, because obviously even now some of the Italian films and filmmakers are still frowned upon. So it would have been nice to kind of have something like that, but what we do get is really good and informative and a kind of fresh spin on the film. The package, unfortunately, is a 3.5. I love it. I love the case. I think the case is fantastic. What lets the film down is the disc. It really does. It just does not feel in sync with the rest of the package. Like if it was clear with the lettering still, but it just feels like a bit of a sore thumb. And I wish there was like a booklet or something here just so you could have something else. But overall, I think what Shameless have done is they've really put this classic film out in a new kind of style. Well, they've put it out in style, should I say. And I really, really think this is just one for the ages, honestly. And this overall gets 22 out of 25 from me. And this is, I know this is the limited edition. I managed to get my copy from CEX. I don't know if the limited edition is still available, if there will be just a normal standard edition. But you can either get that from Shameless's website or Arrow's website, or I would pretty much go through CX like I did. I managed to find the film which is retailing at £22, I think. I managed to get it for 12. So I got a real bargain here, and I can't really complain with what I did get. So yes, welcome back. So I could only really pair the Beyond with like just with the rest of the trilogy. So we have City of the Living Dead and House by the Cemetery. So these films are very much like a thematic trilogy, very much like the Cornetto trilogy. And each film kind of deals with its own story. So City of the Living Dead is very much about kind of how this one woman starts to see like I wouldn't say demons, it's more like ghosts of people coming through, and how obviously it's like very much kind of like the gates between earth and hell are kind of splitting. Obviously we have the Beyond, which is, you know, very much about this one place centered around on a kind of ley line for like really kind of demonic activity. You know, there's very much ghosts and other dimensions and stuff. And then with House by the Cemetery, it's very much about how it's, again, another one location, but it's about how someone so evil has kind of just possessed that building with just their evil spirit. And House by the Cemetery is actually the first Fulci film I ever saw. It's actually my favourite Fulci film. And the reason it is just because it's so simple. So simple. It's very much in the sense it's like a slasher film, but it has like a creature feature aspect to it. It has a supernatural aspect to it. It doesn't really kind of fit inside a box, and that's why I love that film so much. But the whole trilogy as a work really, really well together, and they kind of bounce off each other. So I would probably pair it as the trilogy. You know, you sit and have... and especially now they're all presented in the best possible ways that you can ever view them. So that is this episode, and I hope you enjoyed. You can follow me at the Video Store Clerk on the socials. And yes, until next time, happy hunting.